Today, I'm going to show to you 5 small changes that you can do to go from a no Salah draft to the best possible draft that includes Salah. Let's first go through the no Salah draft. In goal, I was with Ramsdale. In defense, John Stones, Chilwell, Estupinian, Porro, and a 4.0 defender. In midfield, Bruno Fernandes, Saka, Martinelli, Mituma, and a 4.5 midfielder. And up front, Haaland, Nkunku, and Darwin. I know Nkunku is supposed to be injured or like that, but before the deadline, I'm not changing him right now because I believe that he's going to be fit. In the bank as well, I have 1 million extra, but going for the Salah draft, that million is going to be pretty crucial. So let's go and see the changes that I made to integrate Salah into our game week 1 draft. In goal, as you can see, I've made a change. I opted for Johnston from Crystal Palace. He's saving me 0.5 million, which is going to be pretty important as well, because Salah is a lot more expensive than Bruno Fernandes, and I need those 4 millions from somewhere just to integrate Salah instead of Bruno, because Bruno is the guy that's going to go. So I opted for a 4.5 keeper. I believe Johnston is the best option right now. Flecken is a good option as well, but he has not got any FPL and Premier League experience before. So Johnston, a 4.5 option from Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace are having an okay fixture run. You can get save points, bonus points, some clean sheets here and there. What can you ask more for a 4.5 keeper? Because with Salah, 5.0 keeper is going to be pretty hard to integrate, and Ederson and Alisson are a no-brainer in my opinion. So a 4.5 keeper is keeping the place here, and a 4.0 keeper, whoever you want to choose, however you want to play the game. Maybe a Crystal Palace second choice if it's not great, and a 4.0 is there, but you're now blocking yourself to only one more Crystal Palace player, which is going to be a problem at some point maybe. So you can go for a player that you're and the team you're not going to have to buy 3 players from them, not until your wild card basically. So yeah, 4.5 Johnston in goal and 4.0 keeper that's not taking any important slots in our sides. In defense, I made 2 changes. Here you can opt for different scenarios, but in my opinion, a Manchester City defender and Chilwell, especially from Chelsea, are the most nailed things in my defensive side, because Manchester City fixtures are the best, and they're the best team in the league as a whole, and the best defense in the team in the league as a whole. So a Manchester City defender, and I cannot see a better option than John Stones at 5.5 in their defense right now. He can provide an attacking return, some bonus points because he's playing in midfield. Ederson was another choice, and then to go 4.5 defender. But in my opinion, Ederson compared to Johnston is going to be pretty similar, and John Stones just cover ups the Manchester City defense. Chilwell is staying because even though he has a game against Liverpool the first game week, it's at home, and Liverpool right side of the defense looking a little bit shaky, and Chilwell can exploit that. And I believe that Chilwell will be in most of players' teams, and he will get a pretty high ownership. The most owned defender, Estupinian, is not on my side because I wanted to have Arsenal defender here. You can opt for Estupinian instead of Gabriel, but this way you have to integrate someone that can cover up for Gabriel, for Estupinian, sorry, in game weeks 4, 5, maybe 7, 8, something like that. But on the other hand, Gabriel is a center back that is going to have an attacking threat, and you can cover up with Henry pretty good up until game week 8. So yeah, pretty shaky a couple of game weeks maybe here and there, but it's a defense and you cannot earn the best points there in my opinion. I believe going forward is better. So yeah, Gabriel and Henry instead of Estupinian and Porro. With Porro, I got a 5.0 defender on my bench as a 4th option, and with a Salah draft you cannot afford to do that because you need every price point possible, and saving for 0.5 from defense seems pretty reasonable. You can even drop John Stones to Estupinian and save even more money and maybe have something in the bank or improve somewhere else on the field. But in my opinion, John Stones, Chilwell, Gabriel, Henry make a pretty good defensive line. You can always go for Estupinian as well if you believe that they're going to be as good as last season, but that's up to you. For me, 4 defenders and a 4.0 defender, that's going to change pretty well and rotate maybe with someone. So a Luton defender like Kabore is a good option, or Bell. But here is once again your choice. It's just a placeholder for me. I'm not going to be playing him a lot. Let's be honest, Salah draft is not looking very well rounded around my last draft, but for now I believe that it's an option. And if you enjoy having a nailed Liverpool attacker, Salah is the best option. So a Salah draft can do a pretty good things in comparison to a no Salah draft. In midfield is only one change, and it's Salah for Bruno Fernandes. As I said, Bruno is the guy that is going to leave the team, and Salah is the guy joining. I managed to squeeze in Salah just barely. You see in the forward line that I had to make a little bit of sacrifices there, but as a whole, Salah 12.5, pretty good nailed striker. What can you say more about him? I think he is one of the best players right now in the Prem. The other option, Saka and Martinelli, I managed to squeeze in two Arsenal forwards, which is amazing. The only thing missing is a Manchester United player, which is bad, but not bad enough as missing Arsenal and Manchester United forwards. So Saka and Martinelli got the price points here, and Mitoma is staying in my side, 6.5. I'm not up to believe that he's going to be benched and not be played or something like that. And as soon as game week 3 appears, I can easily drop Martinelli to a 7.0 Spurs player or a 7.5 and then go with Mitoma to a 7.0 player, or even drop them even down below or swap him with another forward. I can do a lot of things. I can sell Salah for basically anyone, but in my opinion, those four guys are going to be pretty solid. My team is going to line up in a 3-4-3 formation, but you'll see in a minute that a 4-4-2 is pretty good option as well. And if something happens, my 4.5 mid, that is most probably going to be Anderson from Newcastle, is going to take the notch here. A 4.0 defender may take some game time whenever he is required. So yeah, maybe John Stones is not as nailed as Stupinian. So if you want to go for Stupinian instead of Stones, it will be a good option. But in my opinion, these 4 defenders and 4 midfielders are going to be pretty spectacular. And in game week 2, basically all of those players had a pretty good fixture, and you can play them all. So yeah, 4-4-2 or 3-4-3 hybrid, I believe that's a pretty good formation. And now let's go and see the forwards. I have a pretty spicy pick there. Before discussing the forwards, if you did enjoy the draft so far and want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Now let's discuss the forward line. First of all, let's get out of the way Haaland, because he's going to be nailed. I'm not going to discuss him. Even though I have Salah in this draft, I'm not going to captain anyone else apart from Haaland, so Haaland is staying and Haaland is here to be. Next up is Nkunku. He stays in the team. I believe that Nkunku will be fine for game week 1, but if he is not, you can easily go down to Jackson and you have 0.5 million more to improve someone else. And if you want to drop Stones, you can go for another 6.5 midfielder instead of my last striker. But if you want to build this draft, I believe that is going to be a pretty good draft. You can just stay with that draft. And Nkunku, if he is, by the way, out, you can easily swap Henry for a 4.0 defender or John Stones for a Stupinian, and you can improve to Watkins, because Watkins is going to be pretty popular as well. But yeah, Nkunku is staying for now, and I believe the way that draft is built right now is pretty good. The last guy here is Morris. He's a 5.45 forward. I believe in game weeks 1, 2 and 3 he is not a very viable option, because he has Brighton, blank, and then Chelsea, but after that he is pretty good. And for a 5.5 penalty taker for a Premier League side, you can never say never about picking him. With going for Morris in the blank game week, in game week 2, 4-4-2 will be required, and maybe go for a Sheffield United defender at the 4.0 position, because it's going to be tricky if you don't have anyone on the bench, but your 4.5 midfielder being a playing player in game week 2 is going to cover up for that as well. But in my opinion, you can do a little bit of changes, and I'm going to showcase to you in a minute how you can improve this team even a little bit more with saving some price points or something like that. But yeah, and if you don't want to own Morris, but for now, I believe that is the best possible team. Now let's showcase to you a little bit of different draft that you can integrate and choose between. But for me, that is the best draft. Here is the promised draft. I swapped John Stones for Estupinian, 5.0 here. I removed Rico Henry and went for another 4.0 defender. It's up to you once again. And I replaced Morris with Mbumo, and I'm going to build this draft as a 3-5-2. Here there are a couple of issues. You don't have anyone solid on your bench, but you have two 4.0 players. You can go for Nakamba and Baldock. And you'll be having a reserve player in game week 2. Most of the players here are nailed, so this means that this draft is going to be pretty solid. If Nkunku is injured, go for Jackson and it will be pretty much the same. And in game week 2 you will not have any blanks, but here you can then drop Martinelli and Mitoma once again, or Mbumo, Mitoma, or whoever you want for another player. You don't have any money in the bank, but this is okay. A new player will emerge for sure, and I believe that you can easily integrate him when you replace the players. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 penalty takers, a couple of free kick takers, some corner takers, very attacking lineup. So I believe that this draft is going to be good as well. I prefer the other one most probably because I prefer the 3-4-3 always, but if you want to have a solid midfield with 3-5-2, this is the best option in my opinion. If you enjoyed both of those drafts, subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy my content, once again, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time with another very interesting video. But for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye!